Some destinies aren't chosen, but rather marked the moment you are born. Within the tales of Greek mythology, heroes have been defined not only by their strength and accomplishments, but also their tragedies. These tales shape not only the character, but challenges their humanity. Among these figures, Oedipus is used as a symbol of fate versus free will. His tale ripples the unsettling idea of incest and tragedy, which is later echoed in Freud's theories in the 20th century, that individuals are not fully conscious of their actions, and that the ego is not a master of its own mind. The film Incendies explores how the pursuit of the truth can often lead to devastating unknowns. Both narratives reveal hidden truths that can be as destructive as ignorance, emphasizing that destiny can operate outside the conscious mind. Incendies is a Canadian-French film directed by Denis Villeneuve. It revolves around twins uncovering the past of their deceased mother to fulfill her last wishes. They have to deliver a letter to their lost father and brother they never knew about. Simon is told to find a lost son, while Denis is told to find a father. Noelle, the mother, gives specific instructions on how she wants her corpse to be buried. She explicitly tells them to keep her naked, face down without a coffin. Simon isn't in favor of helping at first, because he believes that the mother was not in the right headspace in her last moments. Denis, however, decides to fulfill her wishes by embarking a journey to Lebanon, uncovering her mother's past. The film shifts between the present and Noelle's past. We see Noelle's past, including how her family condemned her for falling in love with a Muslim refugee. When they try to escape, her brothers kill him in the name of the family honor. Her grandmother finds out that she's pregnant and breaks down, but agrees to help deliver the baby. When the baby is born, the grandmother tattoos 3 dots on the back of her child's foot. The foot tattoo is a direct reference to Oedipus, whose name means swollen foot. The grandmother sends the baby to an orphanage, never known of his true origins. When Oedipus was born, his parents were told about a prophecy from an oracle, saying that Oedipus would not only kill his father, but marry his mother. To prevent this, they pierced his ankles, giving him a permanent limp and scars. He was then abandoned, expected to not survive, but was rescued by a shepherd later on, and was taken and raised by the royalty of Corinth. But the prophecy was already indirectly fulfilled once this was done. Even when the parents try rewriting fate, their attempts only push the outcome. In both Incendies and Oedipus, the babies are stripped of their identities, except for what is done to their feet. The opening shot of Incendies shows a child having their head shaved, which is a way to strip someone's identity. The only unique characteristic the child has now is the 3 dots on the back of his foot. Noelle faces a lot of adversity throughout the film. When the civil war in Lebanon breaks out, she witnesses countless of tragedies. One heartbreaking scene shows Christian militiamen wiping out an entire bus. Noelle survives by showing her cross, and she even tries to save a little Muslim girl who survived by claiming she's her daughter. But as she runs back to her real mother, the girl is shot in the back of the head. Even though Noelle survives, the weight of guilt that she carries is too much to handle. The horror within this film is not the usual blockbuster jump scare, but rather the confrontational nature of having to be subjected to seeing disturbing, arbitrary, and chaotic situations that make this realistic. After these horrific events, she goes to a facility where her son was taken, but finds it has been completely decimated. No one knows what happened to the children, so she's left to believe that her son is dead, which adds on to the horror that she has to endure constantly throughout this film. She later decides to work for the Muslim militia to assassinate the leader responsible for the attacks and the massacres that she has witnessed. She is successful in the assassination, but is imprisoned for 15 years in Kafarat. This is where she earns the nickname, the woman who sings, because even though, when she's brutally tortured, she would sing her way through, her unbreakable will helped her keep going. but the prison guards got to extreme lengths just to control her, hiring the torture specialist after he commits sexual violence against Noel. She is left stunned, stripped of not only her will, but also her identity. She later becomes pregnant with 2 twins, which allows her to leave the prison once she delivers them. Noel delivers the children, but can't even look at them, because it's just another reminder of the abuse that she has endured. Eventually, she is told to flee the country and take the twins with her, and though she doesn't like the idea, she ultimately decides to leave with the twins, carrying both her past and the weight of everything that she has survived. Noel and her daughter, Janae, are later shown at a much older age at a community pool. Both submerge themselves, but Noel seems to focus on something. As she reaches for the edge of the pool, the camera pans to a man with 3 dots on his foot. She is stunned into silence and approaches him. The last person she expected to see is the man who abused her, the man that she fears. He looks confused, barely recognizing the woman staring at him. She rushes off, realizing that the son she thought was dead is not only alive, but also the father of her children and the same man who has caused her so much pain. Oedipus's mother, upon learning the truth, took her own life, unable to bear the horror of marrying her own son and witnessing the death of her husband. For Noel, the trauma catches up in a different way. She suffers a stroke that hospitalizes her. In her last days, she writes a will and letters for Simon and Janae to give to their lost brother and father. The twins uncover the truth when Simon meets someone that knew Abu, who explains that Abu, the torture specialist, is also Nahad, a talented marksman taken in as a child. Hearing this, Simon tells his sister the haunting line, 1 + 1 = 1, revealing that the lost son and father are the same person. This moment is gut-wrenching and shocking for the both of them. They return to Canada to deliver the letters. Abu at first is confused, but then takes in the letters to read them privately. Abu reads both the father and the son letters, starting with the father's, seeing that his actions were condemned and she can never forgive him. However, when he read the son's letter, Noel decided to embrace him and affirm that he was born with love before becoming a monster. The film closes with a shot of Noel's grave, showing that the twins honored her wishes and left no stone unturned. A lonesome Nahad stands before her grave, and though his thoughts are unclear, the weight of what he has done and what he has lost hangs heavily over him. When Oedipus discovers the truth about his parents, he blinds himself, unable to live with the shame and horror. Incendies and Oedipus constantly parallel each other, but they differ in their resolution. In Incendies, uncovering the truth brings a kind of posthumous relief. For Noel, her guilt, trauma, and burden are finally relieved. By the end, the twins understand the full extent of their mother's suffering through the war, abuse, and exile. Learning the truth allows them to grieve, reflect, and move forward. In this way, Incendies transforms a tragedy into a testament of not only understanding but survival, closing the story with a painful but deeply human sense of closure and remembrance. Thank you to anyone that's made it this far into the video and whatnot. I'd still check out the movie if you haven't seen it, even though I just spoiled all of it, basically. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. This is one of my first videos and whatnot, like first video ever. You know, not ever, but first video doing these type of videos. Music composed by me. If you enjoyed it, comment down below, subscribe for more, and I'll check you on the flip side. Yo,